How different is this from what you already have as Interior Ministry? What is it proposing to bring? Because coordination has been a big issue, but still, if coordination is not working under Interior, which is Interior inside, one would seem to understand it's pretty much the same issues. Is it a case of them just trying, government trying to, have this ministry in place to comfort Kenyans that something is happening, but in the real sense, it's shallow?
First, Sophie, I want to state it also clearly that the war on terror must be perceived for what it is. It is a national problem. If we at any one time approach this war on terror either with a political mind to it or looking for political mileage out of it, if we sectionalize this as somebody else's problem, not our problem because we are not in government. If we say it is a problem that has been brought because of those ones or these ones, I tell you we'll never win it. Now this is our problem, all of us, and we all agree. When the terrorists come here and attack any of our facilities, it is indiscriminate.
I think we all agree on that.
So,
let's move forward.
So when we speak about those terrorists coming to Yumbis and having their free time, first I want to declare that it is a sign that they are being defeated. Before, they would boldly come to Eastleigh. They're being defeated
by coming and sitting down and
before, they would boldly come to Eastleigh and throw grenades. They would come to the center of town.
So now that they're not coming to Nairobi, we are safe.
Now they're on their way, and they still have to show that they exist. That's why you find now they have now resorted to going to villages other than to where they were trying to show their might before. They came to Westgate, they came to other places.
Imagine if they had come and were there safe for those 2 or 4 hours that's being reported. Imagine they come and killed and not start to lecture. Would you still be saying at least they're moving out as they kill towards Somalia?
I'll tell you this. You see, the whole world over, the war on terror is an ongoing war. Even when it was started by America, the superpower of the world, in the Gulf region, even today it is still ongoing. Now what you have to do as a nation is to get smarter than the terrorists.
So homeland is the smart option.
And what we have done, what government has done, and I would want to be this to all Kenyans, is now to start looking at the threat of terror with new eyes to ensure that we employ technology, that we bring in new ideas, and especially now like this, like the proposed homeland security, if it is going to be, because I know it is a thought that has been there. The concept is to ensure that we have a seamless operation between and amongst all security organs, bringing them all together such that we don't have a repeat scenario of what we had, for example, during the Westgate attack, whereby you have this command giving a different instruction and not copied by the other one. And lastly and most important, I paid a visit sometimes to Morocco, and we were having a discussion with some of their senior leaders as to how they have managed to put the war on terror at bay, albeit being a nation comprising of so many groupings, including Christians and Muslims. And one of the things that I noticed, which is very unique, is that their streets are patrolled by a united group of all defense forces. You have a policeman, you have a Navy person, you have an Army person, all in a group of 3 or 4 working together, patrolling and carrying out their beat. Okay. Now what happens in this kind of case is that if you have any situation that must be dealt with, then it is copied across all the security organs. And if we can be able to replicate that here in this country and defeat the war on terror, then it is kudos for our government.
Senator Omar, is homeland the way to go? What he's proposing?
Let me tell you, one thing is, ironically, Jubilee only wants us to be a nation when they're in problems. Only when they're having threats of terror, the corruption. Well, but what they do when there are no problems, they, fleece this country and institutionalize.
Let's focus on this. Yes.
So I think if you're making a national call, make it as an equitable call on all fronts of development, yes. Not only when you're in problems. But number 2,
including the port in Lamu.
Number 2. But, you know...
Creation of homeland. Omar, you must be able to make your points on that.
I mean, because he's trying to bring in...
Senator Omar.
Residents are complaining. The governor is always loaded. Whatever.
I mean,
Senator Omar.
You know, I saw you shaking your head every time Matangi was speaking. He's a very unconvincing fellow. I sit with him in Senate every day. So
And Ministry of Homeland sort out our security issues in Kenya.
You see, one thing is, these are tiers of operations that, for me, as long as they are targeted to improvement of the security management systems, but the problem is not about the security management, it's the incompetence that is characteristic. You see, you see Matangi giving a narrative of terrorism. You can find it for a fact that he understands nothing about it. He says, "Oh, the war that was started in the Gulf by the U.S. The war on terror is a bit of a war that is."
No, that was just an example. I know.
Yeah, so
I mean,
that said it done.
So
the narrative, you know, when the narrative, when people are advising a government and they say to be the ones who are making decisions on our behalf, and they have no idea about an issue, that's why we veer off. So I think they will come up with all these tiers. What they need is to have the competence, they need to have the sincerity, they need to have, you know, the capacity, and I think they need to also to professionalize the entire system. We do not have the cooperation. They do not have to have, you know, you do not have to polarize the security machinery by wanting people who are close to you, friends, village mates, and stuff of that nature. So at the minute you diversify, you bring in the right input, you have the right sophistication, you have the right, you know, narrative, the counter narratives, then I think you're en route to solving the problem.